All right, what's going on, everybody? We got another edition of the Plus One interview. And today, Joey's here as always. We're all on Zoom today, and we have a special guest, Lynn Classical head coach, Coach Smith. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Hey, thank you for taking some time to join with us. I know you guys coming off a big victory on Saturday over Malden, a defensive battle. Your offense just put up enough points to win it. But just first of all, I know there was a lot of excitement from the players on getting that win. Just for you personally, how did that feel on Saturday?
Well, it felt great to get the first one done. It's been a couple weeks. We close versus Lawrence in that first one, lost in overtime, and then even the Medford game at 0-0 headed into the fourth quarter, and we fell apart. So it was definitely great to finally get the proverbial monkey off our back and get that first one under our belt.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
No, Coach, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Know how much this means to you. And like you said, a couple of your games have been ridiculously close, especially that week one matchup, which had some flags and all that. Uh, Coming off this win, and then three of your next four games, if we're counting Thanksgiving, are at home, Manning Field and Lynn. What's the message right now? Like you said, that monkey's off your back. Is it just let's keep it going? Let's keep this momentum intact?
Message is keep working hard every day and trying to get a little bit better each day. Like I've said numerous times, that's got to be our only focus is did we get better each day? If we do that, we'll feel really confident going in each week about where we stand.
Mhm.
And I think, that's kind of our motto right now is just keep chopping wood.
And for you guys, I know there've been some injuries here and there. I know some the quarterbacks have been, they had some
Yes, tons
injuries.
of them.
Right, right, and you've had to make some adjustments. But how were those guys just able to step up? And each week, though, each week, you guys, when you had to put somebody in a new position or a new situation for them, because of the injuries, how did you like the way they stepped up and took that role that you placed on them?
Yeah, a lot of guys didn't have a choice. They were just thrown into the fire. We had so many injuries, especially after the Everett game. Even the Lawrence game, we lost one of our best players in that game, Manny Mendez, for a couple games. He came back last week, made a huge impact in that game. Against the Malden, he was our player of the week for the Malden game, where he was all over the field defensively, as you guys saw. So we had five freshmen start at the varsity level the past 3 weeks, and that's never a good deal, for a varsity team to have five freshmen starting. But at the same time, those kids learned a lot. You got to give them credit for even stepping into the fire like that. And they all did a decent job for being freshmen and put into such a terrible situation. But we were decimated, especially on the offensive line, for about 2 weeks, where again we had to start two freshmen on the offensive line against Cathedral, and that's not a good plan. So we were glad this week against Malden we finally had almost back to full strength. We're still missing Wesley Pierre, big lineman, but we're almost back to full strength now, and that's going to be a blessing for us going forward. Hopefully, we can keep it that way, and we're over that hump of injuries that we suffered after the Lawrence game.
Mhm.
Coach, next up is Saturday, Tech Boston Academy, a team that doing some of my own little research for Saturday. They don't score a lot of points, but they're also not letting up a lot of points. Are you expecting kind of a slug it out, low scoring, tough game? What are you expecting?
Yeah, it should be a tough game. Both defenses, on paper, have played well for the most part. So we look forward to it. Obviously Tech Boston's, I believe they're Division 8, but that you can throw the divisions out the water as we saw with Cathedral a couple weeks ago, and they're going to come in pumped up, ready to play. And our guys got to match that intensity, and I think they will. And like I said, on paper, it looks like a great defensive matchup. On offense, Tech Boston comes in with kind of a multiple single wing slash I pro offense on offense. So That will throw some challenges at our defense where we haven't seen a team yet deviate mid-game from an offense like they do. So, that'll be its own set of challenges for us is, they could flip-flop in and out of different formations and it's a totally different offense you're seeing. So um, we'll be ready for that challenge, and we look forward to it Saturday and try to get win number two.
Yeah, and October is such an important month for the season, because you want to start positioning yourself for opportunity to get a chance to play in the postseason, right? How important was it to start the month off with the win going into the next game because you wanted to get that good momentum going so you could string together some wins, due to these power rankings and how we get them weekly and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was huge. Also, even bigger than that was it was a GBL game. So, one of your goals is always to win the conference you're in. And now that we're 1-1 in the conference, Everett don't count; they're independent. We have a chance if we win out to win the conference. So
Mhm.
that's a big goal of ours. Is even if you don't make the playoffs, you can still be GBL champs if you win that Thanksgiving game.
Yeah, definitely. And you had so many guys that contributed in the game in the win over Malden. Kalunaski with his touchdown and interception. He also had a big catch to set you up for the first touchdown. Dylan Hun, uh, offensively and defensively, he had a big sack when Malden was
Yes.
in the red zone, and then he had another big run. And then Charles Washington to seal the game for you guys. Just collectively, those guys, how impressed were you with how they were able to execute and come up big when the team needed them to make the big plays?
Yeah, it's great to see Kalu finally getting into game shape. He joined us late. Didn't know if he was coming back to Classical or not, and we're glad he made that choice to come back to Classical. But he joined us late. His first playing time was Everett, and it's taken him a couple weeks to get into game shape. Even though, as you saw, he's still got a few ways to go. He had to come out a few too many times in that game where but made heck of a plays. Had two great catches, had two reverses that he did really well on, and then like you said, made a huge interception as well. So he made a huge impact in that game. And we look forward to bigger things from him as he gets more accustomed to what we're doing in the offense and on defense, and special teams for that matter. He still, I think, is going to make a huge impact on special teams when teams finally kick it to him. I think someone's going to try him, and they're going to mistakenly make a mistake on that because he can take it to the house at any time. His first chance against Everett, he almost did. So it's only a matter of time before he catches one team slipping and makes a big impact on special teams as well. But Kalu's, like I said, getting into game shape. And then Dylan Hoon has been that kind of sleeper cell, kind of slowly coming along all year. Every game has gotten better and better. And he's just a sophomore. So, again, looking for huge things from Dylan here on out. And he's a guy that can make an impact on both sides of the ball. And then Charles has been steady. Charles had some good rounds at the end of the Cathedral game and scored a touchdown versus Cathedral. And then, we put the ball in his hands to win this one, and he got it done. And that says a lot about Charles's character.
My last question for Coach. It's not really about X's and O's, but since this is, year number one with your alma mater, how have you been enjoying things? How's the job been treating you? And is it what you expected?
Yeah, that's what, I've enjoyed it tremendously. It's exactly what I expected. We're building the program up again. Not to say that Coach Vaughn didn't have a great program. He did. He had an amazing program. And just last year, kind of things went southwards with injuries, just like our first half of this year.
Mhm.
But, we're excited. We're excited that, we got 52 kids out playing football in the city of Lynn. So we're trying to build that number each and every day. And I know there was a lot of talk in the preseason before I got here that Classical would have to close down the football program and they wouldn't have enough kids to even make a team, and they'd have to co-op with English. And I think all that talk's gone away now. Like I said, we're up to 52 guys and growing each day, and guys are excited to play football again. So I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing what we can do here in the next couple of weeks to end the season well, and then in the off season to get better.
All right, definitely. Well, Coach Smith, thank you for taking the time out your day. I know you guys got to prepare for Tech Boston. That game is 11 a.m. at Manning Field this Saturday for those who are interested in attending. I think that might be the only football game on Saturday at Manning Field. So if you got nothing to do Saturday morning, make sure you go check out the Rams and go support them. Coach, we appreciate you very much for taking your time.
We appreciate you guys also. Thank you for covering us.
All righty. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Coach Smith.